Welcome. We represent Group 18 regarding the bootcamp project for the course ITG, BPI and Cybersecurity. For our research, we have focused on the digital transformation within the agriculture sector. For BPI and Cybersecurity, we have focused on the company Bayer and the development of a platform to communicate with customers. Next slide, please. As everybody is noticing, 2020 is a strange year due to the pandemic. This pandemic has disrupted the way of living and working of most people. In this paper, it will be examined what the influence of COVID-19 is on the digitization of the agriculture sector. The sector is mentioned a lot in combination with the pandemic because of the many negative effects associated with it. For example, since the COVID-19 outbreak, a lot of bars and restaurants all over the world had to close their doors. This affects the agriculture business since the bars and restaurants are buying less food. That COVID-19 has an impact on the sector is clear, but what will this pandemic have for impact on the digitization of the traditionally conservative agriculture sector? For example, in a report from India, where Bayer's a seeds and trades company is one of the biggest companies in the industry, is mentioned that the farmers in India normally got face-to-face training to introduce new methods and industry-specific applications. In our study, we will examine this from the three different viewpoints. Next slide, please. Since COVID-19 has such a large impact on the entire sector, we decided to focus on the use of digital platforms by farmers. This has led to our main research objective, which is the effects of the pandemic on the agriculture sector and the extent to which this pandemic has led to the accelerated development and use of digitized platforms. We researched this objective from a business process perspective to see the changes in the execution of business processes, an IT governance design perspective to see the changes in the IT decision-making process from an overall cybersecurity perspective. Next slide, please. The results of this research are that we can conclude there's a shift happening in the adoption of services, platforms by farmers on a worldwide basis, and that the agriculture sector is going through a digital transformation. COVID led to the acceleration of technology in agriculture and give farmers the ability to perform digital consultations with partners like Bayer. Concerning IT governance, there's a shift happening to a more federal input to include the business. Potentially, ransomware could be a high risk for using digital platforms for farmers. And when farmers use these kinds of platforms, it could give them valuable information to solve discrete problems. Next slide, please. Farmers in third world countries may not even know that this platform exists. And even if they do, they still need to have access to the internet in order to fully use these platforms. This limitation has not been researched, but it's an interesting topic for future research. With the ever-growing global population and the rising need for sustainable food, it may have been that COVID has been an accelerator for change towards a more sustainable and effective agricultural sector. This glance of how the future is going to be will be an interesting topic for future research also. Thank you very much.